844-91 Bible, 844-91.
It's time now for your local weather forecast. In LeGrand tonight, clear skies, low of 42 degrees. For tomorrow, plenty of sunshine throughout the day with a high near 82. In Baker City tonight, clear skies and breezy conditions, low of 41 degrees. And for tomorrow, plenty of sunshine throughout the day with a high near 82. This weather forecast is brought to you by
Grande Hospital. For information on who we are and all we do for the community, please explore our website at grh.org.
Grand Ronde Hospital, big city medicine with a hometown touch.
Hey there, it's Lars Larson here, thanking everyone for continuing to tune into my program here on Super Talk AM. I'd also like to remind you to listen to the Johnny Ballgame Show from 3 to 6 following my show. You gotta love the lineup on KLBM and KBKR each day. You get your news, your talk, and your sports. So thanks again for listening to the Lars Larson Show and the Johnny Ballgame Show Monday through Friday here on Super Talk AM. That's 1490 in Baker City and 1450 in LeGrand.
When you list your property with Ranch and Home Realty in LeGrand, you're listing with the most trusted name in real estate, and you're listing with the most experienced agency. They have over 60 years of experience successfully listing and selling local properties. Phil, Carolyn, and John aggressively market your property through the mega listing sites, social media, and key local real estate mediums. With that kind of experience, it's no wonder Ranch and Home Realty is your most trusted realty group. Move from listed to closed with Ranch and Home Realty.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care. I ever get back, so let's root for the home team. They don't win, it's a shame. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
The Johnny Ballgame Show.
What's going on? What do we have? July 19th, Mega Friday edition of what we hope is your favorite sports talk radio program, live and local, brought to you by Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. Welcome to the Johnny Ballgame Show. Listening to all of you on Super Talk Radio, KLBM and KBKR. Thank you. If you're streaming our program on JohnnyBallGameShow.com or SuperTalkRadio.com, thank you as well. And if you're watching us, hey, what's going on to the cameras in our Banner Bank studio? We appreciate you watching on YouTube.com/JohnnyBallGameShow. Good stuff for you planned, and when we open up on Monday, like every NFL team is going to be like in training camp and stuff. So how sweet is that? Training camp are right around the corner. Some are even actually starting right now. So football season really does kick into another gear come Monday. So I have you today for a quick 2-hour program we're going to get you to the Fox Boys at 5 p.m. and kick your weekend off a little early. It, of course, is Crazy Days in LeGrand. It, of course, is Miners Jubilee in Baker City. So I know a lot of folks are out and about. A lot of folks might be tuned into this program traveling into town that don't normally get to listen to this edition, this type of sports talk radio program that we have here. So if you're new to this program, hey, man, congratulations. You found the right station, and appreciate you guys tuning in. You can be a part of this show. You can call. You can email. You can send us text messages. We'll get you that information shortly on this program. But one quick little thing I wanted to talk about before we kind of get into our Kurt's RV top story. Big guests today, big local guests today. They did it again. A LeGrand Little League team won an Oregon State Championship, and they will get to go to a regional tournament. My main man, and it feels like an annual interview with my man Doug Schow. He will join us in studio, the head coach of the junior all-star team that won its state championship, along with my boys, Sammy Boy Chachis and little Sundo Sunderman, going to be hanging out with us in studio today at 4 p.m. Don't miss that. that. I know we're going to all get together for these guys on Tuesday at Goss Motors for some hot dogs and stuff, getting our help as we do for these programs each and every year, ones that win state tournaments and need to go to these regional tournaments and all this fun stuff. And we try to help them as much as we can in this community, and usually that means we help them a good portion. So that's going to happen at the top of next hour. Doug Schow and two of the state champion Little Leaguers going to be in our Vanderbank studios at Super Talk Radio here, and you're not going to want to miss that. Like I said, just got you for a quick little twosome today, 2 hours. We'll get you out of here at 5 p.m. I'll turn my microphone off and get you to the Fox Sports Radio crew at 5, and I'm sure they're going to be talking about a lot of the stuff that we're talking about today. I'm going to gauge the hot seat or lack thereof for a particular group of NFL coaches who enter this season. I figured I would do this mild, medium, or hot segment this hour. Is his seat mild, medium, or hot in regards to termination? As you know, in the NFL, it stands for not for long. 6, 7, 8, sometimes 9 coaches get fired in a season. And so this year won't be any different. Well, whose seats are hottest as we enter 2019? We'll do that hopefully this hour. If I don't have time, we'll do what we can to get to it in hour number 2. Aaron Boone suspended for a game for a classic microphone-filled umpire tirade. Maybe talk a little bit about that with baseball too. A mega deal in the entertainment world coming to Netflix that I wanted to talk about. I've talked about this a couple times throughout the history of my show, so I want to save some room for that at some point too. Some pretty big games tonight, some really interesting football documentaries on television streaming services I wanted to talk about today too. It's going to be a jam-packed quick 2 hours, so welcome again to the Johnny Ballgame Show. Let's get this thing going. Brought to you by Kurt's RV Service and Repair. It's your top story on a Friday. In an interesting move/decision, the NFL today announced that Kansas City wide receiver Tyreek Hill, fantasy owners pay attention to this, will rejoin the team at the team's training camp after the league today finalized and determined that he will not be disciplined under the current personal conduct policy. This following an investigation into allegations of child abuse. This came out about a month or two ago with an audio clip of Tyreek Hill's fiance, the mother of his child, who was a victim in a previous incident involving Tyreek and her in college. The NFL said today in a statement that it could not determine whether Tyreek Hill violated the personal conduct policy, so it will not suspend him. This has certain people defending Tyreek Hill. This has certain people calling for the league to act with more, calling for the league to use more action and have more discretion when going through stuff like this. And there's a lot of people out there, the fact that Tyreek Hill had no punishment whatsoever really did, I think, blindside a lot of people. I think a lot of people thought Tyreek Hill and yours truly, when this the audio was released, a month or so ago, I didn't think Tyreek Hill would be a member of the Kansas City Chiefs. I didn't think Tyreek Hill would be playing in the NFL this year. I looked at the Kareem Hunt situation. Kansas City cut Kareem Hunt shortly after the video was released. And I thought, okay, well, Kansas City obviously doesn't put up with players who even alleged have hit women or certainly abused children. They're not going to stand for this. And, apparently, Kansas City's sitting there as a team saying, hey, the league investigated this and they found nothing. So we're supposed to cut this guy because his ex or his current or fiance or girlfriend or baby's mother or whatever the case she is to him, because she accused him of it? We're just going to ruin his life because he had one accusation that the league which now is in the investigation business, and they couldn't find anything on this? So like, if you're a Kansas City Chief fan or if you're a Kansas City Chief employee, you're saying, hey, we can't cut him. I know it looks bad, but they didn't find anything. Hell, Tyreek Hill could sue the league. He could sue the Chiefs for wrongful termination if they just cut him on a whim. He could. He could get more money than they owe him on his contract. You can't just fire a guy, get rid of a guy based on a rumor, or what now is alleged is that the woman doctored the tape up, that she messed with that audio, that evidence. So this thing has more branches growing on this Tyreek Hill tree than we thought. But I understand where Kansas City's coming from. Like, hey, we left it in the league's hands. The league said, look, we investigated this thing for a month. We could not determine whether he violated the conduct policy, so we're not going to suspend him. And I know it looks bad, and you might think just in the court of public opinion, Tyreek Hill, this is not the first time he's been alleged of having a violent act against a woman or child. It's not. But in this instance, prior allegations, hey, that's just that, prior allegations. And what happened in the past wasn't a part of this current investigation, which apparently they found nothing. I'm already getting people texting the program right now at 541-962-7700 comparing this to Ezekiel Elliott's 6-game suspension for alleged domestic violence a couple years ago that he wasn't even prosecuted for. But the league did its own investigation, and they found stuff to bust him on. The league did. They did their own investigation. And they found instances that led to him breaking their personal conduct policy. They could find no such thing with Tyreek Hill. Go figure. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you on this. Adam Schefter earlier today on ESPN. Here's an Island City Speed Lube audio clip. Here's what Schefty said on ESPN.
If you listen to the full entire 11-minute audio and not just the clips that were chopped up, the NFL believed that there was different context to this and that you would draw a different conclusion. And the NFL conducted its own investigation. This is a business that the league has gotten itself into over recent years and determined that it could not find evidence that Tyreek Hill actually assaulted his son as he was accused of doing. Now, again, you saw Tyreek Hill's statement there where he says that there were, quote unquote, false allegations. Those are the words. So he is clearly denying that he took part in the role of his assaulting his son.
Again, that's an Island City Speed Lube audio clip. Sums it up pretty well there, Adam Schefter. Tyreek Hill's denied this from day one. He thought that that the woman in this case had a witch hunt against him and set the whole thing up. And that's what he's been saying. And you know what? It's tough to disagree with him right now. I mean, the league does their thorough investigation, I would imagine. And, look, it doesn't matter that Tyreek Hill is, let's be honest, in a football sense, the most terrifying player on the field in the league. I mean, I hate using this dude as a comparison, but if there's a guy who ever reminds you of a Barry Sanders in today's game, it's Tyreek Hill. But I'm not saying that the league would ever say, whoa, he's a really good player, let's not bust him. The league doesn't do that. The NFL's personal conduct policy does not play favorites. Look, they went after Tom Brady for 3 years on deflated footballs. That's the biggest megastar maybe in the history of the league. And they were trying to bust Brady on this. It's not a matter of, Tyreek's good. If it was a Joe Schmo player, they'd suspend him forever. I don't believe that's the case. Now, maybe Kansas City would have tried to cut a Joe Schmo. Now, the fact that it is Tyreek Hill, Kansas City was saying, hey, we'll fully cooperate. If the league comes up with their investigation and they find that, yes, Tyreek Hill was abusing his 3-year-old son, trust me, he's out of here. No questions asked. He's done. But the Chiefs said, hey, let's let the league do this. The league did this. They said, hey, we couldn't find anything. There's no suspension. So Kansas City said, okay, Tyreek Hill, report to camp on Monday. You're on the team again. Adjust your fantasy lineups and cheat sheets accordingly. Fantasy owners, Tyreek Hill's playing this year. But no, I don't believe it's a favoritism thing. Well, Tyreek Hill's a good player, so they're going to help him out. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott is a bigger star than Tyreek Hill. He plays on the Cowboys, man. They gave him 6 games. I don't think it has anything to do with, because it's Tyreek Hill. If anything, they'd bust Tyreek Hill more so. He has a shorter leash in this sense because he was the guy who got, let's say, kicked off his college team for punching his pregnant girlfriend in the stomach. That's the same woman in this alleged case. Same woman. And that's the child. And there was no denying that, and that's why Tyreek Hill slipped in the draft. Should have went to jail. But he punched this woman in the stomach when she was prego. Yeah, probably not going to run out this Christmas and buy your son or daughter Tyreek Hill jerseys, just saying. But I think there's a lot of us here who have hired someone or someone who's had run-ins with the law or whatever. Whatever, that's on you. Now, the one issue that keeps getting brought up in this is like, okay, Tyreek Hill, there was nothing found to determine that he was abusing his kid. Okay. So that you can crumple that up and shoot that into the trash bin. But there still is an 11-minute audio of Tyreek Hill saying to this woman, and I quote, "You should be blanking terrified of me." End quote. That is on audio. It is on audio of Tyreek Hill making physical threats of violence to this woman who has been a previous victim in Tyreek Hill acts of violence. That's not a violation of the conduct policy. That's not on audio threatening somebody that, hey, you should be terrified of me. That's not a violation. I get it. You couldn't find any proof that he hit his kid, that he punched, that he hit, that he abused his child. Cool. Couldn't find it. Couldn't find it. Okay, so maybe she was lying. She made that up. Whatever. But there is evidence of him threatening her. And this is a person that he has had previous allegations against. That's not a violation. I don't know what to say on that. I mean, again, I haven't read cover to cover the NFL's personal conduct policy rule book. I haven't read that memo. I haven't read that mission statement. So I don't know ins and outs. But you would think, hey, getting someone on audio threatening a woman, the mother of his child, that could be a violation. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. Your opinion on this, much appreciated on our Farmers Insurance hotline here on the Johnny Ballgame Show. That's 541-963-4122. Anything you want to add or bring up, a question you have, a comment you want to make, go ahead, speak now or forever hold it on the Farmers Insurance hotline. 963-4122. I'll read emails and texts in a minute. Former NFL player and current ESPN analyst Damian Woody had this to say regarding this Tyreek Hill situation earlier today on NFL Live.
Compared to Ezekiel Elliott, who has 6 games, why can't the league be more transparent about how they got to this point? I'm sitting here and I'm just looking at everything. There's a presumption of innocence that Tyreek Hill deserves in this particular case, but there are breadcrumbs that's been going on along the way that make you think this dude doesn't get anything, but Ezekiel Elliott gets 6 games. So I just want some more transparency from the league and how they got to this particular situation.
I can answer this right now for Damian Woody. First off, the personal conduct policy, dude, it's a case-by-case basis. It is. Every case is treated differently. You're not going to use the basis of one violation to lead to the punishment of another. Also, the Zeke Elliott situation, Zeke Elliott got 6 games, dude. That's because the league conducted its own investigation and found several violations against Ezekiel Elliott of the league's personal conduct policy. That's why they suspended Zeke for 6 games. It's not that they hate the Cowboys. It's not that Roger Goodell, wasn't able to draft Zeke onto his fantasy team. There's no conspiracy theories. They conducted an investigation. They found Ezekiel Elliott violated the personal conduct policy. They gave him 6 games. They did an investigation on Tyreek Hill. They found nothing. Well, text message coming in. Johnny, he should have at least got 1 game. This is from Ben. He should have at least got 1 game. Why, Ben? Why? They found nothing. Why, we're just going to suspend him a game because he's a jerk? No, I'm on Tyreek. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm with Tyreek Hill on that one. We're not just going to suspend him because we had to investigate. There's no tax on this. There's no convenience fees. This isn't the cell phone company. Well, we had to do this, so we're gonna charge you this for the taxing fee and the this and that and no. He shouldn't have got 1. I mean, if he would have violated the conduct policy, and they would have said, okay, he's got a 1-game suspension, I'm okay with that. But the league found nothing on him, Ben. I don't know why you want to suspend him a game. You just want to suspend him because of the allegation? We don't want to start throwing people in NFL prison or whatever just because someone alleges they do something. Look, let the league run through its policy. Let the league investigate this. If they say, hey, there was no violations, then all right, there's no violations. I don't think they're playing favorites here to Tyreek Hill. I think if anything, they were probably trying hard to find something on him. They couldn't. There's no reason just to give him a game, Ben. And the transparency thing, look, yeah, Ezekiel Elliott got 6 games. He violated the policy, dang it. Tyreek Hill didn't. Now, again, if you want to argue what is a violation of the policy, forget the child abuse allegation. You have on audio him threatening this woman. Now, I'd have to listen again to the full 11 minutes, which I would really choose not to. It's horrific and it's horrible and no thank you. And you correct me if I'm wrong if you've listened to it and I don't remember this part. But on that audio, does Tyreek Hill directly threaten the woman? I'll kill you, I'll punch you, I'll hurt you, I'll stab you, I'll shoot you. Is there a direct threat? Because I don't remember if there is. But I do remember the direct quote, you should be blank terrified of me. That was the quote. Is that a threat? Hey, you should be terrified of me. Is that a threat? I mean, obviously it's horrible. I'm not condoning it. But is it a threat? I mean, why should she be terrified of him? Now, history will tell you, probably on that one, they've had a history of domestic violence together, him and this woman. But you should be terrified of me. I mean, I guess you could say that's a threat anyway. The league didn't. Trust me, the league listened to that audio more than once. If they would have probably heard something on that audio of a direct threat towards her, I would have liked to think that they would have acted on that. Maybe they did and they didn't. Maybe they didn't and they will. I don't know. That's my Kurt's RV Service and Repair top story on this wonderful Friday. Tyreek Hill will not be suspended. He will rejoin the team at training camp. The NFL determined today that he will not be disciplined under the league's personal conduct policy following an investigation into allegations of child abuse. The NFL said this in a statement today that it could not determine whether Hill violated the personal conduct policy, and they will not suspend him as a result. Not exactly the most chipper of stories on a Friday. A great big weekend throughout Eastern Oregon, like I said. Crazy days, like I said. Miners Jubilee. It's going to be a terrific weekend, and hopefully we can take this show into a better situation. Calls, emails, text messages, always welcome on this program. Email me, JohnnyBallGameShow@gmail.com, and text me at 541-962-9100. $7,700, super easy in that regard. That was your Kurt's RV Service and Repair top story. Camping season, yes, you know Kurt, you love it. Fix just about anything, campers, trailers, you name it, everything in between. A heck of a parts inventory there out at Kurt's RV Service and Repair. That's in Island City, right there in Felinda Loop off McAllister. And Kurt Hurst and my boys out there, Rod and the crew, they do a terrific job. We'll be back.
His wife's words echoed in his mind.
You never fix anything around here.
Well, today that would change. He would fix the water heater. He'd show her that he was the handyman of this house. He was more than capable. Oh, no. Covered it. August 14th, 2008. Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
See your local Farmers Insurance agent, Greg Blackman, in LeGrand.
Every vehicle needs serviced, and the best in town for service and value is Legacy Ford. Like the $20 oil change. And while you wait, ask about their Upgrade Your Ride program and find out why so many people are upgrading their ride and keeping their payments the same or lower. Ford, America's favorite brand, and Legacy Ford, your dealer of choice, where you get a fair price, top dollar on your trade, plus flexible financing OAC. So why are you waiting? Get a service and find out about a hassle-free upgrade today at Legacy Ford LeGrand.
Hey folks, Dave Ramsey here. Listen to the Dave Ramsey Show on your local news talk station, KLBM and KBKR, 1450 and 1490 AM.
The Dave Ramsey Show on Super Talk Radio is brought to you by Catherine Bailey of Edward Jones in Baker City. Your retirement deserves the attention of a personalized financial strategy backed by the advice, tools, and resources of Edward Jones. Contact Catherine Bailey at Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
There is a difference. Come into Carpet One Floor and Home and you'll immediately see the difference. Browse a little and you'll discover more than just a beautiful showroom. You'll find the best selection at a great price. You'll notice the best warranties in the industry. You'll find out about our beautiful guarantee. If you don't love the way your flooring, furniture, or mattress looks or feels, we'll replace it for free. You'll discover our healthier living installation process. Come experience the difference. Carpet One Floor and Home in LeGrand, Baker City, and Enterprise.
A message from Veteran Service Officer Rick Gloria. As of May 1st, veterans can no longer self-refer themselves for medical services through the Veterans Choice Program. Veterans must establish a primary care provider at the Boise or Walla Walla VA. Only after a veteran consults with their VA primary care provider can authorization be given for local medical services. If your authorization period is about to expire, contact the Walla Walla VA at 509-525-5200 or the Boise VA at 208-422-1000.
Welcome back. Sports Talk Radio, the Johnny Ballgame Show. Brought to you by Benchwarmers Pub and Grill, broadcasting live from the Banner Bank Studios. Better banking. Let me say better ideas, better banking, Banner Bank, member FDIC. Love the Banner Bank crew. Yeah, this is going to be a fun weekend. Got the Crazy Days car show tomorrow, the Timber Cruise for Cash. I'll be hosting that on our sister station, Boomer Radio, tomorrow from 7 to 9. Playing you great music, enjoying the cruise. I know Miners Jubilee in Baker City. You know, my favorite local band, the Wasteland Kings, playing tomorrow. Can't wait. I'm going to go see them. Just shouting everybody out right now. While I'm doing that, shout out to my boy Eric and the Pepsi crew at Eastern Oregon Pepsi Bottling Company. They gave me this new Mountain Dew amp. It's called Game Fuel, an energy drink. They hooked me up with energy drinks on this show as if I need more of them. But yeah, I love those guys. And this new stuff, you'll see this around. It's a new energy drink, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Pick it up, man. That stuff's good. And it doesn't give me like the heebie-jeebies like a lot of energy drinks do. Like it's too impactful. This one's good. That's good stuff, man. Got my lady friend coming into town, my GF. Gonna have fun with that. Shout out to her if she's driving through right now. Shout out to the baby dolls. All the pretty girls listening to the show right now. Haga-laga, ladies. Love you guys. Appreciate it. I'm going to get to the U.S. I'm sorry, I always call it the U.S. Open, just the Open. I'm going to get to the Open pretty quick because there's some interesting storylines with the golf tournament going on this weekend. But before I get there, I saw an article today, and I've talked about this before on this show. I consider myself a movie buff. I've seen more movies than most folks, I think. I'm not Mr. Outdoor Josephine. I'm not a big hikes and whatnot and fishing and hunting. I'm a fan of the arts, man. I'll stay home and watch a film and stuff like that. Anyway, stand-up comedy, I love it. A big fan of stand-up comedy. I saw at the Grande drive-in, I was with my brother and my nephews once. This was in the summer of like 88 or 89, okay? And we went to the drive-in at Grande in my brother's, Chevy Aerostar or whatever van he had. And I saw for the first time, and it changed my life. And my parents probably would have been, they wouldn't have loved it had they known I saw this, but my parents were pretty cool about stuff like that anyway. But I saw Eddie Murphy Raw when I was way too young to be watching Eddie Murphy Raw. I saw it at the Grande drive-in. And honestly, it changed my life. Like Eddie Murphy, and this is for adults. You're talking one of the titans in the industry of comedy, whether it's Delirious or Raw, both of his stand-up shows. That dude was like 20 years old when he got the Saturday Night Live gig. You know how hard it is as a comic to get the SNL gig, especially on a good cast of SNL? That's the mountaintop of comedy, essentially. And Eddie Murphy had that gig when he was like 20. I don't know if you know this, but the highest grossing actor in the history of American film is Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy has made more money acting than any other actor in the history of American film. Anybody. I'm telling you. Eddie Murphy. A lot of the movies, he plays like 8 or 9 roles. It's paid for all of them. Look it up. Refute the claim. I've done it a few times. Eddie Murphy, #1 grossing actor ever. But I wanted to give a shout out. I saw this today. And the New York Post, I think, reported that Netflix has agreed to a $70 million contract with comic legend Eddie Murphy to do another stand-up. Eddie Murphy has not done stand-up comedy since 1988 with Raw. You're talking over 30 years, dude, since he's done stand-up. And Netflix, hey, money talks, right? And for me, again, just as a big fan of comedy, I love stand-up comedy. I've seen George Carlin live in Vegas. I've seen all the old Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy, Sam Kinison, Chris Rock, David Chappelle. I'm a big fan of stand-up comedy. Joe Rogan. I'll watch it all, dude. I love stand-up comedy. And I think this is the biggest thing to hit stand-up comedy maybe ever. The fact that Eddie Murphy comes back after a 30-year hiatus to do a stand-up performance. And Netflix, $70 million. They're going to pay Eddie Murphy to do this. I'm sure they figure they can make it back. I'm sure they know how to make their money and whatnot, but I saw that article today, and I think if you're a fan of stand-up comedy, or if you were a kid and you remember watching Delirious and Raw, those guys, those were game changers. I have a buddy who's a stand-up comedian, lower level, but he's opened for Robin Williams, right? My buddy Sean Peabody. He's came through here before to perform. He's been on America. He's been on America's Got Talent. He's performed in places like Sacramento, Reno, Vegas, stuff like that. And I asked him once, I was like, how big would it be if Eddie Murphy ever came back and did stand up? And he said it'd be the biggest thing ever. Like, that won't happen though. And it looks like it's gonna happen. Eddie Murphy's gonna get back to stand up. And like I said, I'm just a big stand up fan. I'm not a stand-up comedian, but what I do, I'm obviously in the entertainment world a little bit on a very low level, obviously. But I mean, I have to come up with a 3-hour show every day. Now, luckily, I try to be funny, but that's not the intention. Like if you're a stand-up comedian, I mean, your job is to make folks laugh. My job is to entertain, whether that's with news, whether that's with comedy, whether that's whatever else I can pull out of my tool belt. My job is just to get you from point A to point B and maybe not listen to music, not talk on your phone, certainly not text, and you're driving from point A to point B or whatever, or you're hanging out at work or the job site and you want to turn something on to pass the stinking time. That's my job. But I feel like I can relate a little bit with stand-up comedians having to patch together routines and what. I mean, I could never do that. I wouldn't even want to, I guess. But Eddie Murphy might be coming back to stand-up, and that is, that's a big one. Want to get you a quick update on the Open. How about this today? Names of golfers that won't be golfing this weekend. These dudes missed the cut. How about Tiger Woods? Yeah, I'm sure you heard of him. How about Rory McIlroy? How about Phil Mickelson? How about Adam Scott? How about Jason Day? You're talking A-list golfers all missed the cut today. J.B. Holmes is still your leader, -8, tied with Shane Lowry. Tommy Fleetwood, Lee Westwood, Cameron Smith, Justin Harding, Justin Rose, Brooks Koepka, 3 strokes off. Jordan Spieth, 3 strokes off. Tony Finau, 4 strokes off. It's going to be an interesting weekend. And I'll tell you this, if Koepka wins this thing again, another major, whoa. I mean, we all saw Tiger. Tiger said this today, like, I just can't wait to get home. That was just an awful experience for Eldrick. And I don't know where his career goes. Hopefully he picks up the pieces and he'll be fine, but we'll see on that. I still want to do some mild, medium, or hot. Hopefully I have time this hour. I might just push that back to next hour here on the Ballgame Show. Want to give a quick shout out. It is Crazy Days in Grande, so that's like the biggest sidewalk sale of the year. Like, there are so many bargains you get in Crazy Days that you won't be able to get any other day of the year for a lot of the LeGrand downtown businesses. I know I'm going to be out and about tomorrow. I love looking at the cars. I love looking at the deals. But my crew, my team at MJ Goss Motors has a flash sale. That's today and tomorrow. 10% off all in-stock accessories. They have tons of crazy discounts, floor mats, hats, shirts, must-have accessories. Can I say that again in broadcasting school? Accessories for your vehicle. Must-have stuff all on sale at MJ Goss Motors. Plus, they're giving away a Bluetooth speaker. All you have to do is get out there and fill out to win that raffle. The GM parts guys are there. They have reps from GM. They're giving demonstrations on vehicle accessories. They brought their goodies, accessories, maintenance products, all the latest and greatest. That's Friday and Saturday in the MJ Goss Motors car barn. That's that garage area right across the street from the main showroom. Yeah, Crazy Days at Goss Motors. Make sure you swing by that direction, fill out the information for that Bluetooth speaker, and check out what they have. Again, a big sale going on, like a lot of places are. We're having fun today. Johnny Ballgame Show, Bench Warmers Pub and Grill.
It's time now for your local weather forecast. In LeGrand tonight, clear skies, low of 42 degrees. For tomorrow, plenty of sunshine throughout the day with a high near 82. In Baker City tonight, clear skies and breezy conditions, low of 41 degrees. And for tomorrow, plenty of sunshine throughout the day with a high near 82. This weather forecast is brought to you by
Grande Hospital. Our hospice and home care team of experienced clinicians have been providing physical, emotional, spiritual, and bereavement support to families for over 30 years as the only not-for-profit, state-licensed, and Medicare-certified agency in our county.
When you think about car shopping, your first instinct is to shop online or take a road trip to the big city, but you can actually spend less on new right here in Baker City. At Baker Garage, they treat you like family, and when you buy your next vehicle from Baker Garage, you're buying at a price direct from the dealer, which means you're not giving up extra cash to line a salesperson's pocket. So it's like you're getting the family discount. Stop by Baker Garage and talk to Randy, because he could save you money on your new vehicle and save you that trip out of town. Baker Garage.
It's time now for a community calendar update. Every Monday through Friday, the Community Connection Senior Dining Center in Baker City serves up lunch at 11:30 a.m. There is a suggested donation of $4.50 for persons 60 and over and a cost of $6.25 for persons under 60. Stop by Community Connection of Baker County, located at 2810 Cedar Street in Baker City, to take a look at the menu and see what else is offered. Grand Ronde Radio Amateurs Association is inviting everyone to attend their monthly business meeting every fourth Tuesday of the month. The meeting is held at the LeGrand Fire Station classroom starting at 6 p.m. If you've ever been interested in ham radio or are curious about it, this is a great meeting to attend to ask questions about the hobby and the service. For more information, contact Tyson at 541-910-2784 or visit online w7gra.org. This community calendar update is brought to you by LeGrand Gold and Silver, family-owned and managed, and your trusted local experts for fine jewelry and precious metals. Shop LeGrand Gold and Silver's full line of quality jewelry, gifts, and coins.
Stay cool during crazy days. Great food, cold beverages. I'm talking bench warmers, pub and grill, and the Long Branch. Make sure you want to cool down. Get some AC, Benchies, or the LB. Ball Game Show broadcasting live from the Banner Bank studio. Better ideas, better banking. Banner Bank, member FDIC. In sports, we do this way too much, okay? And I'm guilty of it too. Sometimes it's tough to remember that the folks we talk about and cover are like they're like real people. They're not actors. And I know this is kind of a soap opera that we all get involved with, sports, but yeah, they're not actors. These scripts aren't written. I mean, it's easy to get on there and talk about Beverly Hills 90210. Yeah, I thought Kelly and Dylan were a better fit than Brenda and Dylan. But a lot of times these guys, it is real life and whatnot. And I don't think we're very sensitive to that. Whatever. But earlier today, I was listening to ESPN Radio, and my man Stu Gotts from the Dan Le Batard Show with Stu Gotts. And they were talking about this whole Jim Harbaugh versus Urban Meyer thing. And Stu Gotts was saying that he felt that Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, who enters his fifth year this season, was on the hot seat. And I wanted you to hear this.
Of course he should. Like, I heard you guys talking about this earlier this week. Why would Jim Harbaugh not be on the hot seat? If it were any other coach in America, we'd be screaming for his job. I mean, we really would be. I don't know if Michigan fans are doing this or not, but listen, my niece goes to Michigan. She's a sophomore there. She says he is beloved at the University of Michigan. And I am just wondering how a man who came in there with so many expectations, who has gone 0-4 against Ohio State and Urban Meyer, and Ohio State has won 3 of those games by more than 10 points, how that guy is not on the hot seat. In 2019, where it takes you like a year and a half, I think Tom Herman was on the hot seat in Texas after a single season. Why are we treating Jim Harbaugh differently than we seemingly treat every other coach in America? It's absurd. Of course he should. His job was to come there and beat Ohio State and beat Urban Meyer, and he has done everything but beat Ohio State and beat Urban Meyer. The expectations were so great for Jim Harbaugh. He has not met those expectations. He hasn't come close to meeting those expectations. And, of course, this should be a make-it-or-break-it season for Jim Harbaugh, but it's not.
Okay. Yeah, a big portion of being at Michigan, obviously, is beating Ohio State. And he wasn't able to just like every other team pretty much in the country wasn't able to beat Urban Meyer in Ohio State either. Urban Meyer was 54-4 in the Big Ten during his time there. But just under that condition, look, Jim Harbaugh at Michigan has been, let's just say, 10-3, 10-3, 8-5, and 10-3. He's won 10 games 3 out of the 4 years. He's coached in New Year's 6 bowl games, the Orange Bowl and the Peach Bowl. Lost both of them. Sure. If you're going to fire Harbaugh, who the hell do you have in mind? Well, this is Michigan football that, let's be honest, has not won a national championship since 1997. That's before Tom Brady played there. So don't act like, oh my gosh, you can't win a national title at Michigan. Yep, fire him. You rehire Brady Hoke. Yeah, bring Rich Rodriguez back. Call Lloyd Carr again. You kidding me? Michigan's won 10 games 3 out of 4 years. They got a 6 squad this year. They'll probably do it again. Even if you don't beat Ohio State, again, this is the whole self-awareness thing that gets lost a lot in sports. People just think, oh, yeah, just fire him. Yeah, we just want to fire everybody today. Just fire Jim Harbaugh? That's the best coach you're going to have at Michigan in the foreseeable future. I'm sorry, but it is, my opinion. Callers on the Farmers Insurance Hotline, 541-963-4122. Caller, let's take a call real quick. Caller, welcome to the program. What do you have?
Hey, Johnny, I actually have a buddy who lives in Wisconsin but is a Michigan fan, and I actually talk to him weekly. I know that sounds kind of weird, but we're Packers fans, but he's a Michigan guy for college. And what we have actually talked about this. So for him, he thinks Harbaugh has to, and this is a guy living back there, rooting for the team, going to games. He thinks that Harbaugh better be in the hunt for the championship this year, or he's gone.
You know,
that's what he's thinking. They have to be in the hunt this year.
Well, okay, that's just so funny that we have this revisionist history on Michigan football. Your friend is like, yeah, if we're not contending for a title, that's it. Our heads are falling off. Fire his ass. Michigan has not contended for a title in decades, but now all of a sudden they have to. I mean, Jim Harbaugh, in his 4 years there, he's had them ranked at some point or another in the season. He's had them ranked 2nd. He's had them ranked 7th. He's had them ranked 4th. Like, he's got him in the top 5, top 10 often. But, yep, no, if he can't contend for a title, his ass is grass, and we're the lawnmower, and we're going to fire him. As if Michigan's contended for stuff. Before Harbaugh got there, they weren't going to bowl games because Brady Hoke couldn't get them over 500. To me, it's just, man, and I get the world we're living in, and maybe that's just what it is, Caleb, but dang it, dude, that's a hot seat. That's a tough world, huh?
Unfortunately, what we live in today is, what are you doing for me now? And if you're not contending for that national championship bid, the BCS bid, you know what? We're
CFP.
overpaying. And especially at Michigan. Think about it. Michigan is one of those teams. Michigan's like a Notre Dame. You know, right now we think Clemson, Alabama, they're going to always be in the talk. They're always going to be in the hunt. But before Michigan and Alabama and the SEC were even up there, it was Notre Dame, it was Alabama, it was USC. And these conferences and these teams have to try to do something to come back in and be prominent where they haven't been forever. And us in the Pac-12, you know, yeah, we've had Oregon, we've had Washington. Where's USC? USC has always been that powerhouse, and they're lacking.
They've been down right now, too, yeah.
With Michigan.
Yeah, last year, USC and Florida State both didn't go to a bowl game. That's the first time that's happened in 40-plus years. It's crazy, man. Thanks for the call, King Caleb. Enjoy your Crazy Days week.
Been alive and remembered that.
Enjoy your Crazy Days.
I'm gonna. Hey, Crazy Days, and I hate to say it, even over in Baker, Miners Jubilee, guys.
I'll be there tomorrow. Yep, I'll be there tomorrow. See you, Caleb. And that's what Caleb's saying. We live in a what have you done for me lately culture. And Caleb's friend over there, that Yahoo who lives in Wisconsin that wants Jim Harbaugh fired if they're not contending for a national title, I'm sure he is well aware of this, but I'll just bring it up anyway. In the last 14 years, 14 years, Michigan has finished the season ranked 7 times. So that means there's been 7 times that they've finished the year unranked. Not even ranked. 7 times in 14 years. Since Harbaugh got there, 3 of his 4 years, they've finished the season ranked in the top 14. Like I said, he's had him ranked number 2 in the country. He's had him ranked number 7. He's had him ranked number 4 in different seasons. And now all of a sudden it's like, yeah, he, like Stugatz was saying, absolutely, he's hot seat. Get him out of here. Man, I'd love to see their list of candidates if they're going to fire Jim Harbaugh. I'd love to see that list of candidates. Because the last time Michigan won a national title was 1997. When Charles Woodson and that Michigan team, Heisman winner Woodson, beat Ryan Leaf in the Wazoo Cougars in the Rose Bowl. Some of my listeners weren't even born yet. That's the last time Michigan won a championship. Brady was a backup. Brady didn't even start on that team. Brady was a clipboard holder on that team. The last time Michigan finished a season ranked in the top 10 was 2006. And now if Harbaugh doesn't do it this year, his ass is grass and everybody else is the lawnmower, apparently. I just think it's harsh, but I guess that's the world we live in. Heck, I'm glad I'm not a Michigan football coach. I guess the pay's pretty nice, but sheesh, man. Tough gig. Tough gig. Knee-High Enterprises, speaking of Baker City and Miners Jubilee, swing by Knee-High this weekend. You need a banner made. You need signage for your business. You call Knee-High. You need your business's logo put on a rig, a work truck, a work car. You need good decal work. Knee-High Enterprises does just that, too. In addition, they are the local leader in garage doors and garage door openers and doors, windows, awnings. They do all that wonderful stuff. Signage, like I said, at Knee-High Enterprises in Baker City. Give me a quick minute. We'll be back.
Baby doll, you wanted to see me?
Yes, Johnny. I heard you've been taking your vehicle to Island City Speed Lube.
Not only mine, but I've been telling all my friends about the Island City Speed Lube service and the customer satisfaction. I don't want anyone else to make the same mistake I made. Baby doll, can we talk?
Johnny, I think we can start thinking about hanging out again. Maybe it's time Mookie and Ray Ray got their mommy back.
Yes!
Preserve your relationships with responsible vehicle maintenance at Island City Speed Lube.
Hey, Eastern Oregon. I'm America's Digital Pro, Kim Commando. Join me Saturday morning at 8 o'clock right here on Super Talk 1450 and 1490 AM. Of course, I take all your questions and we talk about everything digital. The internet, smartphones, how to avoid getting scammed online, and those data breaches. Join me for the Kim Commando Show on Super Talk Radio, brought to you by EONI, your choice for a superior connected experience. Fast, local, and reliable. EONI, the internet done right.
Welcome back. Your favorite, we hope, sports talk radio program, Johnny Ballgame Show, brought to you by Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. Be sure to swing by the Long Branch and Benchwarmers to cool off, what is typically a hot, crazy days weekend. My folks in Baker City, Miners Jubilee, love it. I'll see you there tomorrow as well. Be happy, be safe. Don't do anything some yahoo would do. Looking forward to our next segment at the top of the hour after our quick news break. I'm going to have what I love it. It's turning into kind of an annual conversation in the Banner Bank studios with my boy Doug Schow. When it comes to coaching them up at the Little League level, whatever Little League level, my gosh, what is Doug Schow's record? Are you kidding me? Gosh, he's like Nick Saban and Dabo Sweeney rolled in one. There's Doug Schow's record. Has that guy ever lost a game? I'm kidding, but what a heck of a coach. We'll have Coach Schow and a couple of his players congratulating another state championship. This for the Oregon Junior All-Stars. So we'll have them in studio here in a few minutes. My boy Sammy Boy Chachis, Little Sunderman. Going to be a fun show. So we'll get those guys in studio just around the corner. Games of the night. Now, if you want to watch NWSL soccer, the Portland Thorns are playing tonight. Caleb, I'm sure you're all itchy and scratchy to watch that one. Good for you. Galaxy versus LAFC, a big MLS rivalry. If you're really nerding out with MLS and NWSL soccer, nerds! Have fun with that tonight. Here's what I want to recommend. And I watched half of this series last night. I was going to finish the darn thing, but I couldn't stay awake. On Amazon Prime, the series All or Nothing, where they follow an NFL team throughout the season, for me, it's better than Hard Knocks. There's more episodes, and they do it throughout a regular season, not training camp. The only difference is you kind of know the outcome, right? Because it already happened. But I just think I think it's better TV. But they focused on the Carolina Panthers last season. I watched half of the season last night, but I couldn't stay awake. That, and then, hey, on Netflix, Last Chance U. That is now out for you guys. This is Independence, Kansas, season number 2. So you got a lot to watch, and I get it, you're busy. This is a busy weekend, but when you do have some time, highly recommend those. By the way, probably for adults. The language is similar to an Eddie Murphy stand-up show. Probably not going to want to let the kiddos watch that, but for adults, yeah. On Amazon, the All or Nothing featuring the Panthers, and on Netflix, Last Chance U, featuring the junior college football team from Independence, Missouri. When you're out and about, also tomorrow, shout out to Joe Beans. They make these Italian sodas, and they have you can just go there and order the Johnny Ballgame special soda. It's like this cherry cream soda. Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. It's terrific. It's phenomenal. It is, it's like angels are dancing on your tongue every time you drink this thing. So tomorrow, if you really want to cool down, go to Joe Beans on Adams Avenue and say, hey, Colleen, hey, Al, too loud. I want the Ballgame Italian soda. They'll know exactly what you mean. We'll talk to the Little Leaguers when we come back. Ballgame show.
KLBM LeGrand, KBKR Baker City is broadcasting from the Banner Bank studio. Banner Bank, better ideas, better banking. Member FDIC.
Oppressive heat lingers. Chant fallout. I'm Barbara Cusack. Deadly heat has a tight grip on much of the U.S. from the Midwest to the East Coast. Correspondent Miguel Marquez has more on its effects.
Roads buckling from the heat in Shawnee, Oklahoma, and Hays, Kansas. In Chicago, a thermometer inside a car hit 129.6 degrees. In Washington, D.C., tourists wilting in the hot air. Deadly heat. 32-year-old former NFL offensive lineman Mitch Petrus dead from heat stroke. Young, elderly, and those susceptible to heat gathering in cooling centers.
Stepping up actions in the Gulf region, Iran seized 2 tankers, one British flag, the other Liberian, which Tehran said it only stopped for an environmental check. Correspondent Barbara Starr reports the move coordinated.
It is an indication Iran had planned this, organized, coordinated, was ready to go.
President Trump lashed out at the media for its coverage of the North Carolina rally chants of "Send Her Back" directed at Somali-born Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Trump is now calling the rally crowd incredible patriots. Correspondent Pamela Brown reports chant fallout has spread to the international stage.
German Chancellor Angela Merkel telling reporters,
I distance myself from this decidedly and stand in solidarity with the women who were attacked.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau denouncing the comments.
I want everyone in Canada to know that those comments are completely unacceptable.
And British Prime Minister Theresa May also calling Trump's language completely unacceptable.
Stocks closed lower today. The Dow dropped 69 points. The S&P 500 was off by 19, and the Nasdaq shed 61 points. I'm Barbara Cusack.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Power Swabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-679-0969. That's 1-800-679-0969. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-679-0969. That's 1-800-679-0969.
It's time now for your local weather forecast. In the Grand tonight, clear skies, low of 42 degrees. For tomorrow, plenty of sunshine throughout the day with a high near 82. In Baker City tonight, clear skies and breezy conditions, low of 41 degrees. And for tomorrow, plenty of sunshine throughout the day with a high near 82. This weather forecast is brought to you by
Grande Hospital. With our 25-bed hospital and 13 outpatient clinics, we offer acute, emergency, primary, and specialty care options for everyone.
Grande Hospital.
MJ Goss Motors Company is proud to be your LeGrand Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC dealer. With an extensive inventory of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, their friendly staff will help you find the perfect vehicle for you. Goss Motors is a full-service dealership which includes 24-hour towing, a body shop, parts, and service. So stop in today and check out the new and pre-owned inventory and ask them about their current offers and factory incentives. MJ Goss Motors in downtown LeGrand. Quick, friendly service since 1922.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care. I ever get back, so let's root for the home team. They don't win, it's a shame. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
The Johnny Ballgame. What's going on? Welcome back. Hour number 2 of what we hope is your favorite sports talk radio program, brought to you by Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. Cool down on crazy days. Swing by the Long Branch and Benchies. Air conditioning, good food, good brews, great times with friends in our Banner Bank studio right now. This is becoming kind of an annual thing. I'm loving it. I mean, it gets me through in my season. Late July, mid to late July is the most boring time of the sports year. And thankful to the tremendous community support and the tremendous little league organizations we have here certainly in Union County. It gives me more than enough copy to get through these shows. So this is going to be a fun segment right here. LeGrand Junior All-Stars, winners of the Oregon State Tournament. That's baseball. They will be on their way to San Jose next week, and for the second year in a row. San Bernardino 2 years ago. Coach Doug Schow joining us in studio with Little Sunderman and Little Chachis. We'll get those names later, but your dads are like legends, guys, and you know that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But Coach Schow, dude, this is like an annual thing, man. Welcome back to the Johnny Ballgame Show, my friend.
I appreciate you having us here.
Another state title. I mean, I know that doesn't get old. It can't get old, but just here we are again. Talk about this team this year. I know each team has its own identity and its own deal. This is not the exact team that went to San Bernardino. That was, one run away from Williamsport. Sorry to bring that up, but that was awesome. But tell me about this team, Coach.
We got 4 returning players from last year, so we pretty much have a whole new squad.
Cool.
Some new kids come up. I haven't coached these kids before. This is the first year with a bunch of these kids. And they started out the year, and I was like, man, I don't know what we got. And I tell you what, they just keep working hard every day. We've been doing 2-a-day practices for 2-3 hours in the morning, 2-3 hours at night, and they keep showing up, so I keep having them. So they get, like I said, they're getting better and better, and obviously, we win the Oregon State title, and I'm just super proud of all these boys.
You got to be. I mean, and let's be honest, when you show up at these state tournaments, at these district tournaments, and you got LeGrande on the front of your chest, that might as well be a bullseye now. Let's be honest. I mean, LeGrande baseball at that level, people show up like, oh, I remember those guys. I saw Sam Chachas pitching on ESPN a couple of years ago. Okay, these guys are good. You guys go in there with the target on your back, and yet you've been able to not really defend a title because each team is different and you're chasing something different every year, but you guys have been able to kind of go in there as favorites, as the big dog, whatever, and still be able to win, accepting that challenge. Talk about that a little bit, Coach Schow.
Well, it does. Every time we go there, I mean, they know that LeGrande's going to be good. I mean, even this last time around, we went in Del Norte. I mean, we played Del Norte when we were 12, and that California team, and we beat them pretty good. And when they beat us in the first game of the tournament. They beat us 8-6, and we just didn't come out swinging the bats. But they threw their best pitchers against us right off the bat. They knew they had to beat us.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I held back a little bit and threw a couple different kids at them, and it was a competitive game, and we ended up loaded bases and 2 outs, and 1 base hit away from winning that ball game. But there are targets on our back, and people know who we are when we go to those state tournaments, and they show up and they say, "Oh, LeGrande's losing." What? They just can't. They can't believe it, and that's the reputation. When we showed up, there was some teams, from the Portland area that when we showed up, we're like, "Man, those guys are good." We saw them guys on ESPN, and different things like that. But when we show up now, it's just like, "Hey, there's LeGrande. That's the team to beat." And so there we are.
And it's been easier said than done, isn't it, Coach?
It is. It's a lot.
Let's keep this thing going as these guys get ready for San Jose. Before I get to Chachas and Sundo over here, tell me a little bit about the style of play, maybe compared to the junior level, compared to the little league, the 12 and unders, and just what we're seeing with baseball right now, the influx of home runs, the abundance of strikeouts, that isn't trickling down to the little league or junior level just now, is it? What's baseball like at this level, if you could tell me?
It's back to back to like old school baseball. I mean, you hit and run, bunting the ball, just getting the ball in play. But really, pitching at this level is huge. I mean, if you don't have pitchers, because they have you on those pitch counts and so many days rest, but pitching is probably the biggest part of junior baseball, little league baseball. Even though at the tournament this year, our team hit 5 home runs. I mean, that was pretty cool this year.
Seeing balls fly over the fence.
That's right. Year before, we didn't hit any home runs.
Okay, yeah,
so
is it
this
different
year we started out with had a home run almost in every game, and and a couple of them made a big difference. So
we have a couple of events coming up, and we'll get to the players here, and I'll open up the Farmers Insurance Hotline for anybody at 541-963-4122 if you want to call and have any questions for Coach Schow or the little leaguers here, or anything you can do to help out. We are going to be doing some events throughout next week, so hopefully we can circle the wagons like we have in this community in the past. Before we move on, I want to get to a call real quick. Don't want to keep people on the line. Caller, welcome to the Johnny Ballgame Show. Appreciate having you. What can we do for you today? What you got?
Hey, Coach, this is Caleb. You know who I'm with. I'm not advertising on the station at this time, but I just want you to know if you need anything from us, contact me. We want to help the Little League guys out.
That's Thunder RV, by the way. Yeah.
Do like a raffle item or whatever we can do to help you guys out, because this is awesome for the community, and we love what you guys do.
Hey, thanks, Caleb.
Appreciate that. That's Thunder RV, a shout out there. I know you're not advertising. That's okay, Caleb. We'll still give you a shout out there for helping these kids. Tell me about it. I've already forgot Sundo's first name. I know Sammy Boy Chachis because he's Mr. ESPN over there. But we got Jack Sunderman and Sam Chachis with us. Sam, I'm going to start with you because this is your third straight state championship. You're one of the 4 members of this team that was on the squad last year, and you had the experience of San Bernardino. You've seen the ESPN cameras. You've done the interviews. Like, I would imagine you're way ahead of the game as opposed to most 12, 13, 14-year-olds at this point. Sam, talk about it. Like, this has been just these last 3 years. What a ride, right?
Yeah, it's been really fun the last couple of years, just being with a lot of friends and going to practices and just getting better. And I have had a real good time just learning and having all the experience of ESPN in California and just going along with the ride. It's been a good time with good people. That's
well said, Sammy. And he talks about the first thing he talks about, Coach. It's not the winning or losing. It's hanging out with the crew, hanging out with the guys. It seems like and you and your staff, I'm sure, have been able to kind of create that, and that's what I'm sure these kids are going to remember when Sam's in his 30s talking to his kids, saying before the ESPN and the San Jose trips, he's going to say, hey, I'm still friends with those guys, and that's got to probably please you to hear Sam say that.
It does. We have every team we've coached so far, it's been close-knit family. I mean, the parents, the kids, when we go on these tournaments, we set up barbecues at the campsites and everybody shows up, or we go out for dinner at restaurants, everybody shows up and everybody partakes, and like I said, baseball is part of it. What gets us going there, but once we're there, it's we try to include everybody and just make everybody feel this, and I think that's why we have a winning teams, is we just rely on everybody and we can depend on everybody to be there. So
do you guys have this knack, and I'll get to you, Jackie Boy, in a second. Do you guys have this knack? Like, I'm sure you're not winning every game start to finish, and a lot of time at these levels, all of a sudden that those demons can creep in. Like, what if we're gonna lose? It seems like your team has like this force field, this way to fight the demons of, hey, the game's not over yet till the last out. You guys have had some mega comebacks over the last 3 years. Like, how does this team, in your opinion, able to kind of fight those demons and not let that, oh my God, we're gonna lose thought creep in, and just keep playing, man?
We play a lot of games, and we get in a lot of situations, and in the end, the more games you play, the more situations that you get these kids into, the calmer they get. They don't panic, they don't worry about it. They just know how to compete and win. So it's awesome deal for them.
Jack Sunderman also hanging out with us. Jack, you've seen the success of the Grande Little Leagues. You've been a part of it as well, and I believe is this your first trip to San Jose this year? Were you on the squad last year that went also?
No, I wasn't on the squad last year, but I'm glad to be on it this year.
Heck yeah, man. Free trip to San Jose, and you get to knock the ball around a little bit.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Talk to me about this experience and maybe what you were able to learn from, guys like Sammy over there who've kind of been through these fire a little bit before, and Coach Schow with the experience these guys have, and, stepping up to the plate and being able to handle this. Tell me about the experience you've had this summer, bro.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's the first time for me, but just playing with some more experienced guys and getting to hit the ball around and be with a better team,
Yeah, absolutely. Are you looking forward to one thing in particular about this San Jose trip?
I don't know. It'll be fun to see some teams from other states, just see the teams from all around the region. It'll be cool.
Absolutely, man. Talk to me about being a part of this team, and when you came in, did you kind of you know what it's like about this camaraderie now? Like, you guys are all real close, huh?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my best friends are on the team, and Coach Schow does a great job, and it's just cool to have some kids that aren't even that good in Little League will step up and just do great in the tournaments.
Just something about that LG on that hat, huh?
Yeah, it just says something.
Playing for the front of the jersey and not the back, right, Sammy boy? Sammy, he's texting over there. Sammy is. I bust you. I see you on the camera there, Sammy. You can't hide from me in this studio, dude. Okay. All right, Coach. Let's get to it. Obviously, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about as far as helping. What we need help with to get these guys down to San Jose next weekend or next week to get this done. Give us the 411 here, Coach Schow.
Right now we have a couple things we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be on Tuesday. We're gonna be down at Goss Motors from 11 to 2 p.m. doing a meet and greet. They got some hot dogs down there and a tent set up. And
I'll be on the air as well.
There you go. Yeah, we'll be down there and doing some interviews with the kids. And hey, stop by there and meet the kids. Drop off some donations. We'll have a few tickets to sell, some raffle items. All week long, we're going to be selling raffle tickets. And so on Thursday, we're going to draw for those raffle items, and we're doing a send-off barbecue at Riverside Park. We're going to be in the pavilion there, and come have a burger and a dog, and again, come mingle with the kids, with the team and the coaches and the families, and come see who they are, and throw some money in the pot and help these kids get there. Another thing we have is on Wednesday we're doing a car wash at Island Express Lube, Arnie Peasley's shop, from 8 in the morning till 2 p.m. We're gonna have kids there selling things, drying off your car, just helping Arnie out for the day, and he's gonna donate whatever some of the proceeds from the car wash. So
heck yeah. Couple other things too, just some questions I have that I think maybe folks in the community might have. Like, what does Little League pay for? Like, how do they help you at all in getting these kids down there? Do they at least pay for the kids and the coaches? Like, what is paid for from Little League, Coach?
Hey, at this level, at the juniors level, the regional tournament, there's nothing comes from Little League, so it's all out of the parents' pockets and whatever the community donates, we split that money up amongst the families and,
that's what
and
you
the kids do. and so more or less it's if we raise $10, we each get $1, and away we go. And the last couple of years we've raised a lot of money, and I'm really thankful and fortunate that I live in such a great community, I appreciate all the support we've been getting for these kids.
I mean, this is 3 years in a row, man. We're doing these fundraisers and these hot dogs in Riverside Park, and a shout out to Safeway.
Shout out Safeway, yeah. They're
donating and getting you guys down there. And would this be the final tournament? If you guys are fortunate enough to win this thing, is there a World Series thing? Is this it for this level?
No, there is a World Series. We'd head to Michigan if we win this.
Awesome.
If you win the regional tournament, you head to Michigan, and there's a World Series, and it's televised. I think the World Series part's televised. The regional tournament is not televised. There is a webcam that you can watch through online, but it's there's no commentators, or it's just more or less just video for us playing, and but it's still a great experience. To go down. There's going to be 14 states in the tournament. In this regional tournament, so
in San Jose.
In San Jose, there's gonna be 14 states down there. So we get to see a lot of baseball, and a lot of the teams all stay in the same hotel. So you get to meet all these kids. We were, Utah and Wyoming and Montana, Alaska. I mean, they're all staying in the same hotels, and the kid. It's funny, they compete out on the field, but they're all swimming in the pool and throwing the ball around. And
what a fun deal, man!
It's awesome. Yeah,
what a fun deal. Coach again, Coach Doug Schow, Jack Sunderman, and Sam Chachas hanging out with us in studio, talking about another state championship and helping these kids and helping these families get to San Jose, and keep rooting these guys on. I bet you've seen, just from the coaching standpoint, you're talking about all these other states, like. You probably said, I remember that kid, or I remember that pitcher. Like now you're getting to the point where this is your third straight year. You're going to get down there and go, hey, I remember you. Yeah, back here again, Coach. That's got to be a fun feeling getting down there.
For the last 3 years, I don't think I've seen the same coach or the same players or even the same teams.
You don't?
No,
okay.
There's different people, different teams all the time winning. You never know who you're going to end up seeing. Even our team. From the time, we actually, when we were 10, there was a core group of kids when we were 10 when we won state, and that same core group won when we were 12 the state tournament. That's when we went back to San Bernardino. But from that point on, the team's changed for the last 3 years. It hasn't been the same group of kids. There's been 4 or 5 here, and we pick another 6 or 7, and then this year again, like, we only have 4 returning players, and we have a bunch of new kids that are new younger kids coming up, and I haven't coached these younger kids until this year, and so it's just a great opportunity for me to meet some new faces and teach some more baseball, some new kids.
I want to point that out too, because if there's any reservations for someone saying, well, yeah, we donated a couple of years ago, and these kids, again, you're out there saying it's not the same team.
Right.
There's 4 kids, fortunately enough, who've been on this ride for 3 years. But there's kids. I'm looking at Jack Sunderman right now. He's never been to San Jose.
Right.
He didn't go to San Bernardino.
Right.
This is his San Jose and San Bernardino wrapped into one. This is it for him. So, let's not, hopefully we can circle the wagons like we have in the past to make sure that, Jack's family can get down just like some players you coached a couple of years ago. Their families could get down. And I know you want to say, too, like, man, this community, man, we were shocked these past couple of years at how much we were able to raise to support you guys, Coach.
Yeah,
it's been awesome, man.
It has been amazing. It's just, and it seems like anything this community needs, if the kids need something and they rally behind them, they get it for them, and it's just a lot of support. And again, I can't say enough how much I appreciate this community.
Jack Sunderman, tell me about your buddy to your left there. Sam Chachis and what he brings to the team and what you hope you get in San Jose. And I'm sure you're real confident knowing that every time you take the diamond that you're taking it with Sam Chachis and a lot of other guys. But tell me about the guy to your left right now, Sammy Boy.
Well, Sammy Boy's pretty great on offense and defense. He's probably one of our best pitchers and probably one of our best batters too. And, he just comes out 100% effort all the time and throws hard and hits the ball around. Yeah.
And a good guy to hang out with too, on the bus, on possibly on the plane, in the hotel. Just fun to have in the room, right?
Oh yeah, we're basically next door neighbors, so we hang out all the time outside of baseball. So it's
perfect.
Great.
Hey, Sammy Boy, Sundo over here. I know the Sundermans. I've known them almost my whole life. By the way, Jack, your grandmother was like one of the nicest ladies I ever met in my life, just so you know. She taught me in high school, one of the 3 or 4 teachers I ever remembered having. She was a wonderful woman, so I'm always going to be nice to you because your grandmother was so stinking nice to me. Sammy Boy, the Sundermans, man, they'll joke around. If you shake their hand, you better count your fingers when you're done. You don't know what the heck you're going to get from these guys. Tell me about Jackie Boy over here.
Well, Jack's just a good guy to be around. I've hung out with him since 4th grade. Always had a good time doing it. Played all sports with him. He's just fun to be around, fun guy to have around in my life, and it's fun to bring him to San Jose this year. It's going to be a blast.
Sam, what type of leadership role to you and Jace and the 2 others who've been fortunate enough to be a part of this team for 3 years now, what type of leadership do you guys, onus on leadership do you and some of the other veteran players take on maybe a guy like Jack who, he hasn't been on a plane to go to these tournaments. He hasn't played against these big schools, these big teams from LA and whatnot. Is there any type of advice or leadership stuff that you and Jace and some of the other veterans would pass along? If so, what's some of the stuff you think you're going to tell these guys?
You got to tell them just to go out there and play the game that they play, and they aren't playing any different thing. It's just the same game, just different people. You just got to go out there and have fun.
Yep, the distance to first base is the same. The mound is the same height, right? You know? I mean, there's nothing changing there. It still is baseball. Do you have a favorite sports movie, Sam?
I'd have to say I'm stuck on a tie in between The Sandlot.
Classic.
And Major League.
Oh, Major League, man. I love it. What about you, Sundo?
Oh, I don't know. I like Major League a lot. Bull Durham's pretty good.
Bull Durham's classic, man. Those are like my 2 favorite. I love that this generation, Coach Schow, they're coming up watching the movies that we watch. That's man, right. The Natural, too.
There you go.
I mean, get that in the rotation, fellas, The Natural. But,
all
yeah,
right.
those movies, Major League and Bull Durham, I mean...
Gotta love them.
Classics,
yep.
Coach. One more time. Tuesday at MJ Goss Motors from 11 to 2, we're doing the hot dog fundraiser. So come on down, grab a dog, meet and greet the players, and show us your support if you have some. It'd be wonderful to put a buck or 2 in or whatever you can afford. And then, Coach, on Wednesday at Island Express Lube with your boy Arnie Peasley, 8 a.m. to 2. Mm-hmm. They're going to be out there hanging out, washing cars or whatever they're going to be doing. And then there's a big send-off on Thursday, 6 p.m.
I believe it. Yep, 6 p.m. Riverside.
At Riverside Park. So if you can't make it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, one of those days, hopefully you can get in there and help these kids out. And What's it going to take, Sammy? You've been this far before. Unfortunately, came just short in San Bernardino and San Jose last year. What's it going to take this year to hold that trophy, that regional trophy up, and then be on your way to Michigan, Sammy? What's the big key?
It's going to take a lot of dedication and hard work.
Dedication and hard work. Other than dedication and hard work, Jack, what do you have on that? What's it going to take?
I mean, I got to agree with that, and just more practice, and everyone's got to commit.
Coach, how committed are these kids for the age they are? We were that age. We know what's flying through kids' heads then, and what summertime hanging out, and you got a bunch of ball players here, bro.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome kids. You know, a lot of kids are at home playing video games, and you know, I'm getting these kids out of bed in the morning, and 3 hours on the field and during the day, and they go home, have a nap, and they come back in the evening for 3 more hours of practice. And people thought I was crazy for practicing kids that much, but you know what? When you and I were back playing, I was like, we rode our bikes all day, and
that's all we did, right?
Yeah, hit rocks with sticks and whatever, we just played. But
put $5 in our pocket, hop on our Diamondbacks or whatever, and ride around town, going to Sam's dugout, and maybe if we're lucky, the Granada at night, and growing up, running around here the streets of LeGrand, wiffle ball, home run derby.
Yep.
It's just I love seeing this. You guys. Jack and Sam, you guys got a lot of fans in this area and hit the ball where they ain't. No matter how you do, we're so proud of you guys, and we're going to be following you kids. Thanks for Sam. You're an annual guest on my show now. You've been on more than most of my other guests, man. But nice to meet you, Jack, and hey, man, good luck, you guys.
Hey, thank you.
Yep,
that should be fun.
Coach, we'll be in touch hopefully next week at all the fundraisers, and hopefully we can get you guys back on, and maybe some other players too that want to get on the air and experience with the media a little bit and talk baseball.
I hope we can get some of those boys in here. A couple of the moms, that was fun. That one time we had the moms come in.
Maybe we can get the moms in. Maybe Tila Rowe over there
Tila might
can
come
hang
in.
out with us. Great stuff, guys. Appreciate you. Ballgame Show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. Don't go anywhere.
The main benefit of owning a compact tractor is that you'll save your back and costly trips to the chiropractor. And it's more affordable now than ever to finance a Massey Ferguson compact tractor with 0 down and no interest for 72 months.
This is Brandon Robbins with Robbins Equipment, personally inviting you to stop into our Baker City and LeGrand locations to check out our line of Massey Ferguson compact tractors.
Take the ache out of acreage and buy a tractor, not a chiropractor, with Robbins Equipment.
Someone close to you passes on. We understand. We've been serving families in their time of loss for generations.
Our family is so grateful for their kindness and comfort.
Their family is part of ours. We make every effort to exceed your needs with a tradition of caring and thoughtfulness. It's something we've always done and always will.
Daniel's Knopp, Funeral, Cremation, and Life Celebration Center on 7th Street in LeGrand.
Can't park in your own garage and your closets are full? Anchor Mini Storage in Baker City has the solution. Anchor Mini Storage's monster-size units, 10 by 25s, 30s, and 35s, and on-site manager quarters. You get greater security and service. Anchor your things down with 24/7 access, coded entry, security cameras, and more. Anchor Mini Storage in U-Haul in Baker City. Just off 14th and Campbell, call 523-1688. That's 523-1688.
Hey folks, Dave Ramsey here. Listen to the Dave Ramsey Show on your local news talk station, KLBM and KBKR, 1450 and 1490 AM.
The Dave Ramsey Show on Super Talk Radio is brought to you by Catherine Bailey of Edward Jones in Baker City. Your retirement deserves the attention of a personalized financial strategy backed by the advice, tools, and resources of Edward Jones. Contact Catherine Bailey at Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
Clutching the envelope tightly, I stepped onto the ladder at the bottom of the treehouse. Something caught my eye above me and I looked up. Light! It looked as if there were a firework display going on inside the treehouse. Crackling and snapping and whizzing sounds spun around above my head. Light shot out in sparks, dancing to the popping of noise. And then I looked up and saw... To find out what happens next, read Philippa Fisher's Fairy Godsister by Liz Kessler. Explore new worlds and check out more cool books at your local library. And visit read.gov, brought to you by the Library of Congress and the Ad Council.
Physical therapy is not one size fits all. Infants and children have unique issues best addressed by a pediatric physical therapist. Larissa Baumberger at GRH Therapy and Sports Medicine is the only pediatric physical therapist in the region. Professionally trained and experienced in providing pediatric physical therapy for your child, like toe walking and Rhineck, or even special needs issues for children with Down
syndrome or cerebral palsy. Ask your pediatrician for a referral to Larissa or visit grh.org/therapy for more information.
Auto accidents aren't planned, but when they do happen, plan on using trusted collision repair provider Shaw's Auto Body to get you back on the road. For 30 years, Shaw's has been dedicated to getting your auto, your investment, back to pre-accident condition. Whether it's used for work, pleasure, or basic transportation, when you want it done right, ask for Shaw's Auto Body. ICAR certified, accurate estimates, and on-time delivery with a lifetime guarantee. Choose Shaw's Auto Body in LeGrand.
Duke fans, just cut it out, man.
Where do we take it from here?
But today, I'm the greatest of all time. Thank you.
Somebody told me when I came to
Johnny Ballgame Show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. I always have so much fun with that group. So when I saw that, you know, and the Union in Baker County, for that matter, the Little League has such tremendous support around here, and they win, and they're successful, and they got good kids in the system. And when I saw that, there was one of the LeGrand teams won the state championship, I'm like, oh yeah, what was that Schow's team? Like, yeah, Coach Schow. Like, yeah, of course, yeah. 3 years in a row, different levels that they've been able to win. So congratulations to them. And hopefully we can circle the wagons for them and help the families get down there. As far as I interpreted, the kids, they'll help the kids get down there. But we want to get the families, and we want to, give them some fun stuff to do when they're down there. We get to go to San Jose for a week or so. So that's, Tuesday at MJ Goss Motors from 11 to 2. Big hot dog feed. I'll be on the mic there. Wednesday at Island Express. That's 8 to 2. Arnie Peasley. And Thursday, the big send-off at Riverside Park at 6 p.m. as they're going to go to San Jose, try to win a regional title, and then on to Michigan for the Junior World Series. Could you imagine? They're a few wins away from a LeGrand team getting to a Junior World Series. How fun that will be. I talked last hour, Ballgame Show Benchies, about Jim Harbaugh and how, there's a lot of people, believe it or not, love it or not, that say, yes, Jim Harbaugh is on the hot seat at Michigan. Sorry. That's the name of the game. This is Michigan. Caleb called in and said that his buddy, said that if Jim Harbaugh doesn't contend for a national title, they want him out. They want him fired. I got an interesting text, Northwest Furniture and Mattress, that says, Johnny, the list I would like to see is the list of all the teams that would die to have Jim Harbaugh for their coach right now, including the NFL. That's a good text. Because I agree, not just because I agree, but I agree with that text 1,000%. And it's so funny, Michigan, all of a sudden they're not loving having Jim Harbaugh coach their football team. Okay, that can be arranged. We can fix that. How many times have you seen the guy break up with the girl that's so good for him, but all of a sudden he gets too little too big for his britches, a little too much grease is slicked back into his hair, big cool guy, and he breaks up with someone who's good for him and loves him because he thinks he can do better. Yeah, I'm the cool guy. He breaks up with her. He doesn't end up getting another cool girlfriend, not anywhere near the girl that he broke up with. And then all of a sudden he's crying in the rain. John Cusack, say anything, boombox over his head, baby, please, like me on the Island City Speed Loop commercials, baby doll. How many times have everybody listening to this show has a friend who's done that? Boy or girl. A lot of times a girl will leave a guy who's great for her. She wants the new thing. She wants him. Oh, yeah. A hubba. He's cute. All of a sudden, he's not near as good for you as your ex was. That happens all the time in life. But it also happens in sports. Because you got a Michigan fan right now. Again, haven't won a national title at Michigan since 1997. Tom Brady was a backup on that team. Brady's 42. That's how long it's been for Michigan. Brady has a national championship ring. He was a backup on that team. Brian Greasy was the starter, if you remember. Charles Woodson won the Heisman on that team. Ty Streets, that was a good team. National title winners. So it's not like Michigan, we're not winning any titles anymore. You haven't been winning them. And I'm going to go over a list right now. Okay? I'm going to go over a list of mild, medium, or hot. I'm going to gauge the current temperature of certain NFL coaches. And you think about Jim Harbaugh when I'm doing this. You know, if the coach I'm going to mention happens to get fired during or at the end of the coming NFL season, would these teams like to have a Jim Harbaugh because he's no longer good enough to coach at Michigan? Just ask yourself that. So let's have some fun with this. Brought to you by Daniel's Knott Funeral, Cremation, and Life Celebration Center. Go see Lowell and Carol, wonderful people at Daniel's Knott. You lose a loved one, you have to make the arrangements, make them with Daniel's Knott. Let's have some fun with this. Mild, medium, or hot? Okay, first on my list, how about Jay Gruden, Washington? I'm going to say Jay Gruden's seat. I'm going to say it's hot. I'm not going to dance around this one. Daniel Snyder has always had a quick trigger, so to speak, with head coaches. And Jay Gruden, quite frankly, for one playoff appearance, has been in our nation's capital for longer than I would have expected. Jay Gruden's record as coach at Washington is 35-44-1. He's 0-1 in the playoffs. Now, here's what can bail Gruden out. By the way, he's had 2 straight 7-9 seasons. What can bail Gruden out in our nation's capital is Dwayne Haskins, rookie quarterback, Ohio State. If the Skins go 5-11, 6-10, but Haskins looks the part and he looks like he's coming, you could see what happened in Houston 2 years ago with Bill O'Brien happen in D.C. with Jay Gruden this year. Because if the quarterback looks like he's coming up, you don't want to interrupt the coaching staff. So they might go 6-10, 5-11, but the quarterback looks like he's coming, like he's going to be a good one. They might give Jay Gruden another year. But all in all, I'm hot. I'm going to say Jay Gruden is on the hot seat. No question. Next up, Ballgame Show. Ron Rivera, Carolina Panthers. Been watching this guy on Amazon's All or Nothing. Now, Ron Rivera has won Coach of the Year in this league. He won it in 2015. He might have won it in 2013. He's had a decent run there in Carolina. If you think about it, Ron Rivera's been on the gig now. This will be his 9th year. That's one of the longer tenured coaches in the league. He's 71, 56-1. Talking like 15 games or so over 500. The Carolina Panthers are in the playoffs all the time. He's been to a Super Bowl as coach of the Panthers. I'm going to say Ron Rivera's hot seat. I'm going to say the temperature is medium. Cam Newton's coming off another injury. Last year they went 7-9. The year before they were 11-5. The problem with Ron Rivera and the Carolina Panthers is there's no consistency. Cam Newton has never had back-to-back winning seasons. How crazy is that? And Cam Newton and Ron Rivera were there about the same amount of time. You know, they were the same year. Ron Rivera and Cam Newton. Cam Newton's never played for another head coach. And they've never had back-to-back winning seasons. I'm going to say Ron Rivera is medium. Let's move on. Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin. I'm going to go mild on Mike Tomlin. He's with Pittsburgh, obviously. And Pittsburgh doesn't buy into coaching on the hot seat. Tomlin's one of the longest tenured coaches in the league. This will be his 13th year in the Steel City. He's in the playoffs all the time. Last year was the first time he didn't reach the playoffs in a 4-year stretch, okay? So they made the playoffs 4 times in 5 years. They were 9-6-1. Got rid of some of the outside noise, AB, Le'Veon Bell, who are really good players, though. But look, if the Steelers don't make the playoffs this year, do they fire Mike Tomlin? Look, you might want to say yes. Most teams would, I'm telling you. But most teams aren't the Steelers. Okay, the Steelers keep their coach in system. They just do. They've given Mike Tomlin before in 2012 and 2013. Back-to-back years, he went 8-8. That'll get you fired in a lot of NFL programs. So I'm going to say mild on Mike Tomlin. I mean, if they go 3-13 and they're just horrible, maybe come talk to me in December. But I don't think Mike Tomlin should be fearing for his job. I mean, he's coached in 15 playoff games. Been to the Super Bowl twice. It's been a while. But I'll go mild on Mike Tomlin. Why do I keep calling him Tomlin? Moving on, how about Doug Marrone in Jacksonville? Man, Jacksonville was that one team last year that just didn't live up to the hype, right? There's always that one team, right? Every NFL season, there's that one team that just doesn't live it up. And Jacksonville last year, going 5-11, when they were, 10-point leaders in the fourth quarter versus the Patriots in the 2017 AFC Championship game. Jacksonville should have went to the Super Bowl with that team. They really should have. Last year, probably got caught reading the press clippings a little too much. 5-11. Doug Marrone, I'm going to say medium, and it's a fairly hot medium. The only thing protecting him, Tom Coughlin really likes him. That's his buddy, and Tom Coughlin is the president of the Jaguars now. So I think if they look somewhat respectable with Nick Foles there, I think Doug Marrone can keep his gig another year. 2020 will be the mega hot seat year. But if they're 5-11 again, he's probably fired. So I'll say medium on Doug Marrone, meaning there's a decent chance he will get fired. If I say hot, I think he will get fired. If I say medium, medium chance. If I say mild, probably not. A couple more quick ones here. Sean McDermott, Buffalo Bills. You're talking the forgotten coach of the NFL. Nobody knows who this dude is, right? Matter of fact, though, I mean, he actually took them to the playoffs in 2018, right? Or was that 2017? My bad. I mean, Sean McDermott in 2 seasons with Buffalo is 15-17. I mean, that's under par for the course with the Bills. And he's been to the playoffs once. And he has a quarterback in Josh Allen that a lot of people like and is grooming very nicely. Dude, Josh Allen last year, Fantasy Geeks, Josh Allen had 600 rushing yards and 8 rushing touchdowns. I mean, I'm going to do a segment next week in fantasy football called Fluke or Fact, and that'll be one of them. What to expect from Josh Allen's rushing numbers this year. I mean, if he can have those type of rushing numbers, you're going to want to play him in fantasy. You're going to want him on your roster. Sean McDermott, I'm going to say medium. It's Buffalo. They're always quick to fire a coach. If they dip down big time this year in Buffalo, my guess is that, they'll get rid of the coach. I mean, it's what we've learned in Buffalo. And Sean McDermott was a long-time defensive coordinator with the Panthers. He was an offensive coordinator for the Eagles under Andy Reid. I mean, he's been in this league a long time. Sean McDermott, you're talking an Andy Reid coaching tree guy in Buffalo. A kind of a forgotten guy, like I said. If I went to the grocery store and asked 15 people who the head coach of the Buffalo Bills was, maybe 3 would say Sean McDermott. I'd say he's medium. You want a hot one? I got a hot one. Bill O'Brien, Houston Texans. For me, the hottest coach in the league is Bill O'Brien. He's proven he can win. He's over 500, 42-38. But he hasn't proven he can, I guess, swim in the deep end of the pool. I mean, he'll get you out of the shallow end. He'll hang out a little bit. Like, you look at Bill O'Brien, he's been over 500 4 out of his 5 years in Houston. But 3 of those years, he's 9-7. I mean, he's like Mr. Wild Card round. Last year, they were 11-5. They finally took that next step in Houston. 11-5. We're the 3 seed in the AFC. What happened? They lost in the wild card round. At home, they let Andrew Luck and the Colts come in on the road, division rival, and beat them. Houston is ready to go. You got DeAndre Hopkins in his prime, Deshaun Watson, one of the 2 or 3 best young up-and-coming quarterbacks in the league. You have J.J. Watt holding on to prime years, and hopefully you'll have Jadeveon Clowney helping out. There's some talent in Houston. They shouldn't be losing in the wild card round all the time, with the frequency they are. Bill O'Brien is on the hot seat. If Houston, Bill O'Brien's a guy where he could make the playoffs and get fired, like Mike Munchak did with the Titans a couple years ago. Made the playoffs, won a playoff game, and they still fired him. I can see that happening with Bill O'Brien this year. Because Houston should make the playoffs. They should. It's a good team. But it's about getting to the playoffs and doing some damage. That's mild, medium, or hot. Text me on the Northwest Furniture and Mattress text line. Appreciate everybody. That's 541-962-7700 Northwest Furniture and Mattress, Elm Street. Oh, they'll have some stuff on sale for Crazy Days throughout this weekend in the LG. Love Crazy Days weekend. Love Miners Jubilee weekend. Just love these Eastern Oregon summers. Lots going on. We're going to turn the mic off today at 5. We'll get you to Fox Sports. Still got a lot to cover, though. Ballgame Show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill.
It's time now for your local weather forecast. In LeGrand tonight, clear skies, low of 42 degrees. For tomorrow, plenty of sunshine throughout the day with a high near 82. In Baker City tonight, clear skies and breezy conditions, low of 41 degrees. And for tomorrow, plenty of sunshine throughout the day with a high near 82. This weather forecast is brought to you by LeGrand Gold and Silver, family owned and managed for over 35 years. Your trusted local experts for fine jewelry and precious metals. Shop LeGrand Gold and Silver's full line of quality jewelry, gifts, and coins, and find the perfect gift that will be cherished for a lifetime.
Remember all those summer nights having to adjust your fan to the perfect angle just to stay cool? Tough to sleep that way. Nowadays, your comfort level during these hot Eastern Oregon summers can be maximized with all-air HVAC. I'm talking sales, I'm talking installation, and I'm talking service. For residential or commercial, it's tough going without tip-top AC during the summer. So stop doing it. Not only will all-air HVAC get you a great price on a new unit, but they'll also install it. So go see them. All-Air HVAC, serving Union, Baker, and Wallowa counties.
Joe Beans on Adams Avenue knows coffee. Whether it's that morning cup of Joe that starts your day, or just Java for lunch, or in the afternoon that keeps your day as well as anyone. All types of flavors for coffee and espresso drinks. Give Joe Beans a try next time you want Eastern Oregon's top cup of Joe. Joe Beans on Adams Avenue.
More than 7.7 million American teenagers participate in high school sports every year, including about 101,000 here in Oregon. They're all learning essential life lessons, like the importance of hard work, time management, and self-discipline, skills that are helping them become better leaders and more active, responsible citizens. This message presented by the Oregon School Activities Association and the Oregon Athletic Directors Association.
I was lying on the grass of Sunday morning of last week, indulging in my self-defeat. My mind was thugged, all laced and bugged, all twisted, wrong and beat. Uncomfortable, 3 feet deep. Now the fuzzy stare from not being there on a confusing morning week impair my tribal lunar speak. And of course you can't become if you only say what you would have done. So I missed a million miles of fun. I know it's up for me, making sure I'm not in too deep. Keep me versed and on my feet.
Ballgame Show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. Thanks again, everybody, for hanging out on with us today. You know, a couple other things. It's funny. I got a text message in from Mikey. Mike's a Buffalo Bills fan, so first let me just send my condolences. Yeah, sorry, bro. He disagrees with me on the Sean McDermott. Did I have Sean McDermott? I had Sean McDermott at medium. Not hot, not mild. I had Sean McDermott, Buffalo's coach, medium. Again, the forgotten coach of the NFL. Nobody even knows who the hell he is. I'm surprised this guy, Mike, who says he's a Bills fan, I'm surprised he knows the name of his head coach. But he says, Johnny, you're an idiot. His seat is as ice cold. He could chill blue cheese wings, especially when he makes the playoffs this year. Buffalo's going to make the playoffs this year. You're calling that Mikey, the Bills fan? You're calling Buffalo making the playoffs? I like the division, sure. But I don't know if I like you that much better than the Jets. Yeah, that backfield, we'll see. Shady McCoy and Frank Gore sharing carries there. What is this, the senior league? Seriously, what is this, like the Big Three version of football? It's the retirement tour? Shouldn't these two guys be playing at a casino somewhere? Like, you know, opening for Sir Mix-a-Lot and Naughty by Nature? Is that how old we are on this thing? Ballgame Show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. You know, one thing I wanted to talk about, too. Some interesting things we just keep hearing. And this, I don't think this is going to end well, dude. But what I'm talking about is Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur is a Sean McVay guy, okay? The Sean McVay coaching tree. You have Matt LaFleur in Green Bay, and you have Zach Taylor in Cincinnati. These are two dudes who've been coaching with McVay. I'm surprised Sean McVay's not on the Hall of Fame class coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm surprised we didn't put him in already. You know, right? But we'll see. But this whole, Matt LaFleur isn't going to let Aaron Rodgers audible in certain situations. Aaron Rodgers is basically saying, look, if I see something, I've been in this league for 15 years now. If I see something and I can read a coverage and I know I have a gimme, so to speak, I'm going to change the play. And this story, won't go away. And if Green Bay, I shouldn't say if, I should say when Green Bay hits some type of hardship, which all teams hit, and you lose a couple games in a row, or Aaron Rodgers has a bad game, you know the media after that game is going to say, well, hey, on those interceptions, were you not allowed to call the play? Were you not allowed to change the play? This story, the media is not going to let this thing go. I promise you that. Matt LaFleur's never been a head coach. He's really only been a play caller 1 year. Aaron Rodgers has been a play caller for basically a decade. If those two aren't always on the same page, that could be an ugly story. ESPN First Take, I saw this earlier today. Max Kellerman talking about this. Here's what Kellerman said on this whole Aaron Rodgers-LaFleur thing.
Look, Aaron Rodgers is trying to become the best player who ever played his sport. And by the way, my eyeballs tell me that he's had more influence over the outcome of any one game when you include postseason games. Like, Rodgers doesn't get worse under pressure. Rodgers is that same dude. So he has more influence over the outcome of an NFL game than any player in my lifetime. That means he's the best. One man shouldn't be able to be an army, a one-man army in the NFL. Cam Newton did it for a season. Here and there, someone could do it for a minute. But Rodgers does it year in and year out, almost no matter what's around him. All of a sudden, he's the older guy, where it's no longer, there's no even competition for that spot. This guy, Mahomes, maybe he's just as talented, maybe more. So on the one hand, you're chasing Brady. On the other hand, you got Mahomes putting pressure on as a rookie, basically. Yeah, pressure's on Aaron Rodgers.
Pressure is on Aaron Rodgers? Like, all due respect to Max Kellerman, like, he's done so much more in this business than I will ever do. Ever. There's more pressure on Aaron Rodgers? Let me ask you this. Pressure is, let's say, not having a job, all right? If Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers, say, both get cut from Green Bay, who gets a gig first? A team hires Matt LaFleur, or a team wants to sign Aaron Rodgers? That's pressure. If push does come to shove and Green Bay gets in a situation where it's Aaron Rodgers at quarterback or Matt LaFleur at coach, what decision does Green Bay make? See ya, Matt LaFleur. Aaron Rodgers, yep, we love you. They just signed us. Did Kellerman even bring up? I got to play this again. I'm sorry.
Look, Aaron Rodgers is trying to become the best player who ever played his sport. And by the way, my eyeballs tell me that he's had more influence over the outcome of any one game when you include postseason games. Like, Rodgers doesn't get worse under pressure. Rodgers is that same dude. So he has more influence over the outcome of an NFL game than any player in my lifetime. That means he's the best. One man shouldn't be able to be an army, a one-man army in the NFL. Cam Newton did it for a season, here and there.
Okay. Yeah, still, more pressure on Rodgers because of that. The greatest player of position ever. Has he never seen Tom Brady play? Anyway, I'm not going to argue that, but no, the pressure's on Matt LaFleur. His job being hired as head coach of the Green Bay Packers is to get there and help Aaron Rodgers win a Super Bowl. Period. Aaron Rodgers' job isn't to help Matt LaFleur become a decent head coach. That's not on Aaron Rodgers' agenda. Green Bay needs to make that decision and find Aaron Rodgers the best coach. The pressure is on Matt LaFleur. Aaron Rodgers signed an extension. He's going to be the Packers quarterback for 6 more years. You think LaFleur is going to be the coach for 6 more years? I don't. Pressure is on the coach, not on Aaron Rodgers. He's making $35 million a year every year for the next 6 years. Pressure is not on him. Have an awesome Crazy Days weekend. Be happy, be safe. That's all I got.
Learning that someone you know has passed away is never easy, but finding out weeks, months, or even years later isn't pleasant either. That's why SuperTalk Radio is posting obituaries and notices of death at supertalkradio.com. Grace Weston Company, Pioneer Chapel, and Cole's Tribute Center is proud to bring this service to the public. For those who have passed and have their arrangements with Grace Weston Company, Pioneer Chapel, and Cole's Tribute Center, visit supertalkradio.com and click on the banner for obituaries.